Today, devices like this one revive Pokemon fossils. Just to get fossils, we'll revive them and blah 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 blah. Wait! You have a head fossil! Would you like a I was gonna say retrieve it. Would you like to retrieve some head? Well, I mean, now you think about it, if your machine gives me just go to the intro. Hey everyone, it's CurlyHairedHero and welcome back to Pokemon Light Platinum. As you can see, the head fossil actually gave us a Cranidos, which is another really cool Pokemon that I really wish I could train. I remember when 4th Gen was sort of announced. This was back in the day when the Pokemon, or rather, Japan would get Pokemon games before North America, so we'd have to wait like a year or so just to get the games localized. So I would have to spend a lot of time on Cerebi looking at all these new Pokemon, like planning out what kind of Pokemon I'd want to use on my journey and that kind of stuff. And Cranidos was really one of those Pokemon I really wanted to use. But it turned out to be a really, difficult Pokemon to use because it's like glass cannon. Because it has like no defense and like crazy attack, but like not very good speed. So that, needless to say, didn't really happen. 4th Gen was really interesting for me, but anyways, wrapping up on my rant from last time, I was talking about, YouTube Red and how it's sort of painting a glim light for content creators. I mean, it hasn't necessarily done anything. I know mainly what it's done is that it's made certain videos unavailable to other countries, and maybe vice versa, I'm not entirely sure. But basically, if you're like into I know the main example is like if you're into J-pop or something like that, or Japanese music, it's blocked off from you if you live in the US. You can't view certain videos that are from Japan, which is kind of horseshit. I know there's a lot of like legal shit going on for YouTube Red. It's not entirely them being dicks and censoring stuff, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm still on the side that feels like YouTube Red is kind of unnecessary. Similarly, how like it doesn't really seem to have too many pluses. Like I see ads can be annoying. I get that, especially since I'm pretty sure in the last maybe year they've been pushing for like non-skippable ads maybe, and like having those long ass ads that are like 30 minutes or wow, imagine that are like 30 seconds on every video. I feel like that was some sort of like test to see how much people hate ads or something like that, but that's just me being paranoid. But I just feel like that's not enough to warrant people paying $13 a month, which is another thing, because they originally said the prices were going to be $10 a month, and now they jumped it all the way up to $12.99, which is basically $13 after tax. It's like $13, maybe $80, maybe almost $14. I'm not too sure. I don't know how tax works for subscriptions to Shield Fossil. Okay, that's interesting. Shield Fossil is for Bastion. Bastion is kind of cool looking, but I don't think I'll ever see myself using one. Anyways, so that's the main problem with it. I don't see it as a sort of a plus in any sort of way. So I don't see it being really successful, but it is YouTube, so I don't know. Maybe ads are really a big issue. I mean, I get annoyed by them, sure. But, I mean, what, I don't know. What can you do? I guess pay $13 just not to see ads. But what I was trying to get at is that it's not so much that it's discouraging me from making content. I'm still gonna make my content. It's just that I don't know if like I'm gonna have to do it on a different platform, for example, because I'm not trying to specifically make money off of it. It would be nice, but I guess what I'm trying to specifically say, I'm not trying to make a living off of it, which is the key there. Because if I'm just doing it on the side, part-time, the platform doesn't necessarily matter all that much, although some sort of revenue would be appreciated for the work that I put into. It's not all I'm living off of. Which I know is different for a lot of other people, which is why it's a big issue. So that's why I'm not so sure what's exactly going to happen. So that's why I'm kind of like, ugh. Of course this would happen now. But, I mean, it's whatever. I can't really do too much about it at this point. I'm just going to keep doing things according to my plan. And we'll just see. Because honestly, at this point, only time will tell. Cue that song from Metal Gear Solid 5. So yeah, that's that. A lot of these guys apparently helped Kabutops in the past. What the fuck? Oh, you helped find Kabutops. Why is it that you guys helped find Kabutops fossils, but I can only find Kabuto fossils? It's pre-evolution. Can you explain that to me? Okay, I just gotta. Well, no. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, okay, I can already move it. I was gonna say I thought it was because it was dead. I was gonna be unable to move it but I just gotta move it manually. Alright, this place is fucking huge. I was really hoping to get into the gym already, but jeez. Anyways, the thing that I was trying to get at earlier, for the last episode, that I've been saying that, well, basically, I really want to get a move on with my, you know, my plans for my channel, because it's sort of a step in the right direction for my future, in a way. Because, like, it's more doing something than what I've been doing, if that makes any sense. But I have been doing things that are actually, you know, a step in the actual direction of my future, which is game design. And that's sort of pertains to what I'm doing now. But basically, I'm working on a fucking move on a Pokemon fan game. And I've sort of had the idea for like a while. I mean, I've wanted to do it for like ever. But it wasn't until recently that I kind of had the capabilities to do so. And I was like, you know what? And I put some, I drew some shit up, and I was kind of like, oh wow, this could actually work. But it's not until recently that I've actually started, putting the shit actually into, in game. Basically, I'm using RPG Maker. I'm using the essentials, and I've actually, I don't know if I should say this. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I work in between, when it's slow, when there's nothing for me to do. I just spend my time on RPG Maker working on my game, which is giving me a really interesting realization, because I've noticed that, like, what I'm doing for my actual job, I don't want to do for a living. I'll tell you that much. Not that I was planning on doing, but I know that kind of field isn't really for me. But since I've been doing the RPG Maker stuff on sort of the side or during work, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's kind of like I've been getting paid to do that, if you think about it, right? And I have no problem with that, which is, a really good realization, because it basically means that I love the field that I want to get into, is what I'm trying to say. So that's a good sign, because I've always been really worried, because I've gotten really stressed out when I've tried to make or attempted other projects in the past. I haven't necessarily completed anything per se, but I've attempted things here and there. So I've gotten a little stressed out when things weren't working out, and I was kind of like, oh man, maybe this isn't for me. But now, after coming to this realization, it's looking pretty good, I guess. I mean, I think if I were to maybe finally catch a break and be a game dev officially, I'd be pretty happy with myself. So that was pretty good. This looks like a new person. Hey, are you crazy? Get out of here right now! It's about to explode! 1, 2, 3, now! Boom, 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 boom. It's funny because it's like literally someone using Rock Smash and all of those things. And I bet you it's just an invisible character just going up. Rock Smash, Rock Smash, Rock Smash. Incredible! Just incredible! These fossils are in perfect condition! I wonder what they are. They look like Bastion and Cranidos. Sorry, but I use explosives in the mine. They're dangerous to anyone nearby. I hope you're okay. My name's Atlas, and I'm the Groment City gym leader. Well, now that I've finished my work here, I'll return to my gym. See you there, trainer. Yeah, it's definitely Cranidos and 2 Bastions. I wonder why 2. That's interesting. Should have thrown in like a different Pokemon. Like, I get they had space and Cranidos is taller, and so Bastion fits a little bit better. I get all of that, but I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, so I've been working on my game. I don't really want to, give out too many details now, because it's still like early process. There's not even gonna be shit. There's not even gonna be like anything playable, or I shouldn't say playable. Nothing releasable, if that's even a word, anytime soon. So I don't want to release too many things, but I've been working on it. How the fuck? And it's sort of an idea that I've been ruminating on for a while, and I think it'll do fine. Primarily because, like, I know everyone says this, but it sets it apart from all the other fan games because, you know, it's different, blah, 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 blah. Mine is legitimately different because I'm actually changing up how the game works, which I know, again, a lot of people probably say that too, but I can guarantee you 100% that I'm legitimately doing things differently. But we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But I've been working on that, and it's been really fun. And it's sort of inspired me to make a sort of series on my channel. You know what's a waste? I fucking went ahead and used a bunch of revives and shit on all my Pokemon. And you know, the other thing is I should have been using the Amulet coin this entire time too. But yeah, I used up all those revives thinking I was gonna come into some more battles, and I didn't. Let's go ahead and buy 3 of those, or 4. And let's see if I can take it on Atlas finally. Oh boy, I'm probably gonna have to take down... Oh, what the fuck. Okay, so I'm probably gonna have to take down his goons also. Alright, I'm just gonna use Ariel. Yeah. Because I'm assuming I'm gonna be able to give Ariel something to evolve pretty soon. So I'll just have her really, really strong. Because fuck it, whatever. So let me just speed through these trainers really quick as fast as I can. But yeah, like I was saying... what was I saying specifically? Well, whatever. I've been working on it, and primarily what I've been doing is that I've had my girlfriend, I've drew up some designs, right, and I gave it to my girlfriend, who's learned how to use RPG Maker recently, and she's been making tile sets, and making the maps, putting everything together, and then I've been taking that stuff that she gives me, or she makes, or whatever, and I've been adding it. These guys are using really, like, they're using like desert like Pokemon, which is an interesting theme, but I'm totally not prepared for this with Ariel. So yeah, what I've been doing in the last week or two is basically just combining everything she's giving me and putting it together, adding the, you know, the events that they need to be an actual game, stuff like that. And it's been great. I've made quite a lot of progress. Like, I'm almost up to the part. Like, I know it's not saying much, but I'm almost up to the part where I can select my starter Pokemon. Which sounds like, you know, fucking, well, that's really in the beginning. What the hell are you talking about? Technically, it is. There's a lot. Since it's a game, there's a lot more to it than just, you know, what you see. What takes me 2 weeks, what it takes me and my girlfriend 2 weeks to make is probably going to end up being like 3 minutes of playtime, unfortunately. That's just how game design works, more or less. But anyway, that's not the point. So I'm finally getting up to the point where, like, it's actually turning into a Pokemon game. Because you can actually, you know, have a Pokemon. Because I'm pretty soon I'm going to be able to have, you know, random encounters and that kind of stuff. Because so far I've just been doing like cutscenes and like setting up other events and kind of stuff, setting up the story kind of things. So I haven't really done anything Pokemon-like, I guess you can say. So now that I've actually moved ahead and I'm doing sort of the final areas where you get your starters, it's, you know, it's coming together. And I'm pretty excited about it because it's finally feeling like a Pokemon game. Because it's not like it hasn't recently, but it's just like, you know, the dream is more real now. Are there more trainers? Oh, thank God. There's just been... I've fought so many trainers this night. I swear, I fought at least 30 trainers. No joke. In the last 2 hours. Or hour and a half. Or whatever the hell it's been. It is ridiculous that I've had to face these many trainers. And that I've only got 4 batches. And that I'm only like level... What? I'm about to be like level 50. It's a little bit ridiculous, but I don't know. I can't really do anything about it now. Anyways. Like, I don't know. I really want to talk about the game, but I don't really want to spoil anything. I mean, I guess I can spoil the main premise. So the main idea is I got inspired. I might have talked about this before, but I got inspired watching the Pokemon. What is it called? Not Pokemon. I think it was just called Pokemon. Well, fuck, I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's the Pokemon special that they had, I think 2 or 3 years ago, where they did an OVA of the character you use in the games rather than Ash, which is really cool. And I saw there was a lot of nice little sort of things there. One of the main things that I really thought was really cool was the fact that Brock, when the protagonist went to go face him, he asked him, "Oh, hey, you only have, you have no badges. This is your first gym badge." So he selects a specific team for that guy. So then that got my gears, grinding. Then soon after that, I played A Link Between Worlds, which is a really good game, primarily because it's open world. And what that basically means is that you're not set on a specific route entirely. You have a lot more freedom than in other games, where you kind of just do this linear path where you do this one thing and you got to do the next thing. Here you can do this thing, or instead you can do this thing, or you can do this other completely different thing in whatever order you choose, which is really cool. Which is why that game is really fun, aside from like all the other things and the fact that it's a fucking Zelda game, man, it has really cool mechanics. So I was thinking of all that, and basically I'm just trying to combine all of that. It was originally gonna be a little bit more simpler, but now I've adopted the inspiration a little bit more heavily. So, like I was saying, I was inspired by Link Between Worlds, and it was primarily only the open world aspect of it. But now I've sort of adopted the sort of Zelda theme a lot more heavily. So it's sort of, my game is basically what happens when you take Pokemon and Zelda and literally mush them together. That's literally what it is. Because like, instead of gyms, I'm gonna have dungeons. And for example, what I've been working on is the first dungeon, sort of, or the first puzzle. Basically, there's gonna be a lot of puzzles. But yeah, there's gonna be a puzzle for you to get your starter Pokemon. So it's not just, you go to talk to the shitty professor, just gives you a Pokemon. You gotta actually, do shit together. So that's why, when I said earlier, this game is, legitimately different, even though I know that's cliche and everyone says it, but I mean, like, it's legitimately different. Because in every, fan game, in every game, more or less, you just walk, someone gives you a Pokemon, end of story. Here, stuff actually happens, and you kind of get the Pokemon yourself, and I've kind of done a twist on what the starters are as well, so a lot of things are going on. But I've said enough already. I didn't want to spoil it, but I went ahead and gave out pretty much the main plot point and all that stuff. But I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter, because I'm not really too worried about, like, someone coming in and just taking my idea, because it's not exactly an easy idea to just think that you can just walk in and just fucking make an open world Pokemon game. It doesn't It doesn't work like that. Pokemon's a very complicated game to make open world. I'm not saying that I have the solution myself, but I will say that in theory, I have it figured out in a way that will possibly work, right? But I haven't exactly tested it out, because I haven't really made the game, per se. But I think I'll make it decent enough. But that's enough of that. Next time, I'll take on Atlas and get the 5th gym badge from the Groment City Gym. Stay fresh.